This is why the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. A common misconception that people have is that they can only be happy if they're doing the things that they love to do. And oftentimes that becomes an excuse to delay your happiness and say that it's gonna happen in the future. We as human beings tend to naturally put off our happiness. And we tend to have a negative and resentful attitude towards the things that we don't like. However, what you need to learn and apply to your life and to the things you do and the way you do them is that the way you do one thing oftentimes becomes the way you do everything. If not fully, then at the very least it seeps into the other areas of your life, into the other activities of your life. So if you have something in your life that is draining you and putting you down, making you feel shitty, it's very important that you start to change that and you start to change your attitude about it. Whether it be a job that you don't like, maybe studying, maybe something just that you don't enjoy doing. If you allow that thing to bring you down, to destroy your attitude, your personality, and your character, and the vibrancy and the flow, and the happiness that you can have within you, well then you're just completely screwing yourself over. And that's something that you really don't want to be doing, because if you allow one thing to destroy every other area of your life, it's never going to become better, it's never going to improve, it's never going to increase, it's not all of a sudden going to change and then all just become amazing and better for you. Because even if you get rid of that one thing, remember the statement of wherever you go, there you are. So if you move on to something else, you might start to resent that in the same way. Now, of course, there are exceptions and there are different scenarios that could completely break this rule. But as a general thought, it is very, very powerful. Because even if you're mopping floors for a living, if you do it with a good attitude, you're a lot more likely to move up in life and move ahead in life than if you do it with a shitty one. If you do things with a good attitude, you remain positive, and you keep your good emotions, you can then apply that to other tasks that can move you forward in your life. You can apply it to other projects that will help you increase and grow and expand what you're doing. However, if you do something and you're completely negative, what that tends to do is drain you completely. And then when you try to apply yourself to something else, you just don't feel it. You don't have that spark, you don't have that energy. And then you go to the doctor wondering where all my passion is. And of course, it has been drained and tapped not by the activity that you were doing, but by the way that you were doing it. Remember, we can't always control what's on the outside, but we can always control what's on the inside. And that's why you need to manage your emotions, and in particular, you need to manage your attitude about things. Because if you can keep a good one, if you can keep a solid one about anything, then you are much more likely to succeed in whatever it is that you want to do. Therefore, I wholeheartedly recommend that you really take care of your attitude, that you are positive towards whatever you're doing. Now, of course, there could be exceptions. I'm not saying you should walk around constantly with a fake smile on your face or anything like that, but as best as possible, to the best of your ability, try to have a positive attitude, try to have a very, very solid attitude towards whatever you do, because it will affect every area of your life. It will seep in or take over one way or another, so what you might as well do is have a strong attitude in whatever you do, and that way you will have it in other things and you'll have more energy to do the things you love. Remember, it's never the outside that is the problem. It's always you, so you need to take personal responsibility and see it for what it is and understand that if you could only change yourself in the way that you are and become more valuable, that way you can step out of the things that you don't like doing and step into the things that you love. It doesn't start with somebody rescuing you or somebody helping you out, although that might be the case, that is very rare. What it does start with most of the time is you making a change and a transformation yourself. And your attitude is a great place to start. So make sure that you definitely do not miss it. Stop doing things with a horrible attitude, because it's not going to affect you in any positive way at all. It's not going to help you, it's not going to move you forward. So drop that completely, change it to something more uplifting. You'll feel a lot better, and you'll see that your life starts to become a lot better too.